Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and there's a raging debate in the tool community as to whether or not you should carry a high quality pocket knife or a reasonable quality but inexpensive tool branded knife as your EDC and work carry. So here's a DeWalt. I've done videos actually on all of this stuff, but this is a DeWalt with kind of a Tonto blade, and you can see a little bit of serrations, a little thin, you know, decent for what it is. There's an Estwing, a Klein, a couple Milwaukees, a Hazit. But lately, this is what I've been carrying. And this is a titanium liner lock Kizer. This is known as the Hawk. And why? Well, because it's got a highly shop-oriented utility blade, and it's a beautiful expression of a titanium. In fact, it has two show sides, I think. You know, this is normally the, I don't know, the work side, the back side. Beautiful titanium pocket clip. It's been machined to work. A lot of these, the titanium pocket clips are almost afterthoughts. Gorgeous accents. Rock solid lockup. This is known as the Kizer Hawk. It's by Carlos Elsner. And what this thing retails for is about 169 bucks. That seems like a lot. But you know, some of the new Milwaukees are approaching $70 to $80. Klein makes an expensive one. Hazit makes an expensive one. So do you want a tool brand to try to make a knife, or do you want the knife to come from a knife company that works with designers? Beautiful. And the steel, I don't know what the steel is. It's a stainless steel of some kind here. It's a highly polished. This one is a US 8. That's actually a good steel. Spyderco uses that. What is this? I'm not sure on this one. It actually works well on this Klein, but the locking or the launching mechanism is a little rough. Milwaukee, I don't know what their steel is. They're really pushing different kinds of knives. This could really benefit, I think, from a flipper if I wanted to carry it. But again, it's, you know, the plastic handles. But going back to the Kizer, what do we have? We've got essentially a skeletonized but also texturized, so you got great grip, titanium handles, basically scales on a stainless steel frame, and you can see there's tons of pocket lint in there. I've been using this, carrying this for months now, and that's why I'm finally getting to the video, because I can stand behind it. It's an outstanding work knife as well as a general pocket knife, but it does have an unusual blade. That sheep foot blade, which by the way is S45Vm steel, and I've heard the steel's made in America, but I don't know if it still is. Nice copper colored accents. Fits great in the hand, but that blade is a little non-standard. A lot of people are looking for, you know, a clip point blade maybe, or a drop point blade. This is a modified sheep foot's blade with a very large cutout here, so you can finger flick it, you can thumb flick it, and it fits great in the hand once it's there, but it's more of a work blade. And I've used this for a lot of wood processing, wood projects, shaving things off, making stuff fit, a lot of cutting of different things, tubing, stripping wire, slicing through materials. I used it to slice up a bunch of foam insulation. I mean, it stays sharp. It's a fabulous knife. If you want to spend more, you can get it in a black handle with a M390 steel too. So there's that option. But what it's taught me, and why I'm making the video, is these are inexpensive. They're sold and handy because, you know, tool companies make them. They have their place. But I really miss out on having a nice, high quality, you know, almost custom feeling pocket knife for the work site. And that's where I'm leaning towards carrying a nice knife. Yes, you can lose it. You know, go ahead in the comments, you know, share your thoughts. A lot of people like inexpensive knives. They break them. They do stuff they shouldn't be doing. They pound on them with hammers. They twist them. That's true. I think if you are going to, if you know you're going to destroy it, then maybe don't carry a nicer knife. But it's so much fun to use a quality tool and just have it with you and not really worry. It's not, I don't have any Benchmades, maybe the Adamus, but it's a whole different kind of knife. I love this style for doing different kinds of work. It isn't good at a lot of things, but those things aren't the things you find in the shop or on the job site usually. Instead, a sheep foot. That's really why you know, the sheep foot evolved. Anyway, nice knife, wonderful knife. There's one caveat. This has what's called a Snapecho system in it. It's got a really tight lockup, but silky smooth. It's not being drawn in. But when I first got it, it sometimes would not latch. I mean, the precision of the machining of that last. You hear that little click? That's what holds it in the locked position, and it's a solid lockup, but that had to actually wear in. So you probably need to flick it maybe 100 times, and then it drops in. But before, it would, if I was really careful, it might not actually hook. And I've heard about that with this knife, and that's all you got to do is use it. I think the people who weren't using it maintained that lack of click, but now 100%. It's right there. Love it. The style of blade, especially with the sheep foot, retains a huge amount of strength all the way up to the tip. You can really crank on this. You can drive home, you know, that tip into material, and then that blade. You've got such a, you know, a wide flat grind there. You know, like for the insulation cutting, this was better, way better than trying to work with a smaller knife. And I love utility knives, but if you think about trying to dive in, you know, this is more, you know, the classic drop point. It's great for a lot of things, but this is a way better shot point. And in fact, one time I was drilling holes and I needed to smooth them out, kind of instead of, you know, countersinking them, I just stuck this in and then reamed it. And it was perfect. It's a great knife. And so now that's what I'm carrying for job sites, for work projects, for anything. And I've had to clean all kinds of gunk off the blade. It cleans up really nice. You can hone it up. Just an outstanding knife. So there it is, the Kizer Hawk. I'll put a link to Amazon below if you want to learn more about these, and a link to the Kizer website too. But it's a blast. It's just fun to have such a nice tool, even though it's doing fairly mundane things like cutting tubing. Let me know your thoughts. And with that, Doc out.